Suggestion. How much did you make? Because if you make in big batches, then you can just have them to pull from. When I make these, because I have to get all the crap out, I just make a ton of them. I have to coat the stuff with alum if I really want to make it like pop, and it just takes time. And so instead of like fighting it, and every time I want to do stuff with this stuff, having to get it all out. Okay, good. Okay, yeah, you should have like a spree, like a coffee paper making spree, and then that way you're all set. I have over here, I don't know if you can see it. Y'all gonna see? Yes. And nobody really cares what I do to my bedroom and turn it into art studio. All this, these are all my papers that I can use for stuff. And so I made a whole freaking bunch of them. And, yeah, you know, so, oh, FYI, if you throw cooking oil into it, cooking oil into coffee, it'll do stuff like this. Where is it? I have one. Oh yeah. So if I can find it, I took my journal apart. Where is it? Aha, let me see. Somewhere in here, I had the coffee one. I was going to show you something that I thought was pretty cool that you might want to try. Ah, here it is. Okay, see this? This is coffee, and that's coffee. It's the same freaking coffee. What I did is, that was an old washer, and the washer changed the tint of the coffee. Right here, you can see it really good right here. Like, is this all the same coffee? It started off all like this, and then when I put the washer in to just let it do its thing, now I laid it in something to do it, and so, I mean, it's just right there. You can see where it put pressure and the coffee set through, but the metal changed it. So if you want your coffee to have a different tint, like you see, this is warm and this is cool, you can put different kinds of metal in it. I've done old nails. If you have, what do you call it? The iron, steel wool, you know, the kind that you scrub stuff with, the clean with. Don't do the SOS pad that has a soap in it, but you can tint stuff that too, like that. You can add vinegar to it. It'll stink, but yeah, so the metal just did that, like just an old washer, and I just think that is just beautiful. You can add salt to it too, and that'll develop it as well. But yeah, like all these papers, I saved these. I took this thing apart, but I'll go back in and add to it. Another idea for your coffee stuff too is if you get a water-soluble pen, you can draw and the pen will bleed out as you go. But yeah, so that is so freaking awesome. I'm so proud of you for trying that. That's wonderful. Just make my own book covers too, because you can take at the front of a sketchbook, like, okay, so this is a front of a sketchbook, okay, and I peeled it and carved it. I mean, that is all that is. That was just a sketchbook. It's called chipboard. Like sketchbooks that are made like this, they don't have it, but this is your chipboard. The back of the sketchbook is this right here is that. Now, some of them, now I can't tell you what kind of layers this will have, but this is the same stuff. It's just different. And it's the same thing I do on my Collagraph plates. And the torque on it was a lot more with it hanging over so far, so I braced it right here. But usually I clip it on here and lean it out. But it's a gooseneck, and you can like move it around. I've had a couple for like a couple years. They're only 16 bucks. It has been the best thing. And so what I do is I record like, everything. And then I clip it together and I make process videos. Just a tip. That might be something you want to look into. I have made more money doing that. Well, thank you. Yeah, the photographer felt sorry for me and said, hey, I have some softbox video lighting. Would you like it? And so as soon as all this virus stuff passes, I'm going to get some like real lighting. I can't wait. Yeah, I've sold more artwork through process videos than I have any other way. Because people like videos more than they like just a photo of it. So it might be something you could look into doing. There's a lot of free apps on there. First I used Splice, and GoPro makes it, and it was free. And hey, Lindsay, how's it going? And then now I use Video Leap, which I had to pay for, but it seems to be, it was like $60. It's worth its money, but Splice carried me for a long time. Oh man, Maya, you got to. Oh, you got to. All you got to do now, the first step, what you could do like a stream of just progress photos, where like what you did for your self-portrait, where you take a before photo, then you take a photo a little bit further along, and then all you do is you smush them together and you have like a video, and all it is just like a slideshow of your photos. That would be like number one, right? The easiest way to do it. Number two is you just, every once in a while, you just take a video. Instead of doing a process photo, you have a process like flyover of your artwork, and then like a shot of the whole thing, and then a flyover, and then shot the whole thing. You squish it together, and there you go. But then all you have to do is set up your camera and make sure you just forget about it, and don't worry about zooming in or anything like that. You just start to do your thing. And then one of those apps like Splice, iMovie for some reason kept jacking up my movies. It would not orientate like where it wanted to. I wanted to do vertical like this. I didn't want to do the YouTube style where you had the landscape, because I don't watch movies on my phone like that at all. And so I didn't, and iMovie kept cutting them off. But, oh yeah, here he comes. I can hear him screaming in the other room. So don't be surprised if you hear screaming and flutters in a second, and that'll be Jay. But then what I did is I got one of those apps like Splice. There's many of them out there that will compress your video, right? And so you put your video in there, and then you speed it up. And so usually when I post videos, I have sped them up. Oh gosh, it's quite a bit. It's a lot, just because it just takes so long to do it. I've also done videos where I don't speed them up, and I will just do like real time, right? I'm painting, and then I'll do clips, and I just put a lot of different clips together. And yeah, and that works too. And then people see your process, and you don't have to worry about speeding it up. I like mixing them together. And but if I take a lot of video, what I can do is I can go back in and edit them together and do different views. Yeah, it's been a lot of trial and error, and nobody really taught me how to do it. But I do believe that it helped me get this job. So, but I think you'll enjoy it. If anything, if you just take photos of your artwork as you go, you'll be so glad you did, especially like when you start learning, like you're working on a journal or whatever, you'll appreciate going back, if anything, just for like the self-assessment, like, oh, I've come so far. Add that right there. Sometimes I don't like things. Uh-oh, you know what? I hear something. I hear something back down there. What is that? What is that? Oh my goodness! Did you come see me? Come here. Oh, bud. Oh, you are so funny. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't even know where to stick you, because you're going to eat everything. So Jay decided he'd come to see me. He crawled. Well, he flew down and came all the way across the house to hang out. Okay, bud. So he's going to hang out on my shoulder. It's inside a flower. Dude, you have to be quiet. You can't scream your little head off. Oh, hidden eyes. Well, these are kind of like out there. Actually the ink made it. So I didn't draw those. The ink was like the ink. When I dropped it in the water, it made them, and I'm just going back in and developing them. There's some, probably you can see some in there too. But yeah, is that what you're talking about, like inside the artwork? Because yeah, they're not always intentional, but oh dude, you can't get on my phone holder. So he is all about chewing on stuff. You hear a snapping sound. That is Jay. He is clicking his beak. Doodle, I love you. I don't know what to do with you though. You're not going to be happy, are you? So what I do with him, and you're going to laugh, I did clean my bathroom, so I'm not going to be embarrassed about it. Okay, there's all my stuff I'm working on. So what I'm doing is, when Jay doesn't know what he wants, he goes to the shower. Yes, he does. I even got a notepad in my shower. Yep, and he likes to hang out, and I will turn on the light for him, and he should be happy, won't you, bud? Because if not, what he'll do is he will start chewing on me, And then he'll jump on the phone holder and he'll chew on the phone holder. Yeah,